During the 1990s, there were some iconic celebrity couples. Some have stood the test of time, others not so much. But in 1994, one of the most bizarre advertisements was placed in the Times of London by what seems to me like a completely mismatched couple. The full-page ad, which cost $29,800, read, "We are heterosexual and monogamous, and take our commitment to each other very seriously. There is not, and never has been, a prenuptial agreement of any kind, and reports of a divorce are totally false." Now, you may be wondering, who would do such a thing? Or why would they do this? It seems bizarre in today's world, but back in 1994, you couldn't exactly hop onto Twitter and be like, "Hey guys, just so you know, I'm not gay." So instead, actor Richard Gere and supermodel Cindy Crawford chose to settle some discussions and rumours surrounding their marriage by placing this advertisement. Crawford and Gere originally met in 1988 and began dating shortly after. At the time of their meeting, Richard Gere was 38 years old, while Cindy Crawford was only 22. This alone led some people to view their relationship as weird. Some people labelled it as creepy. That I completely understand. But regardless, the two got married in Las Vegas and they used rings made from aluminium foil because presumably they were saving their coins for this advert that they'd have to place. Both of them were super popular at the time. A little-known film called Pretty Woman, which you may or may not have heard of, not really that big of a deal, starred Richard Gere and was released the year before their wedding, and Crawford was, of course, one of the biggest supermodels in the entire world. Rumours further plagued their marriage, except for this time people thought that both of them were gay. Crawford said, "I don't get depressed that people constantly call me a lesbian and Richard gay. I find it amusing." Gere also commented on the rumour saying, "It's kid stuff. Kids in the schoolyard." Now, as someone who is gay and tried her hardest for years to hide it from my friends and family, this does sound an awful lot like deflection to me. Because, let me tell you, those kids in the schoolyard, they sure were right about me in the end. But I digress. In 1993, Crawford said, "It's amazing to me, considering the number of women he's associated with. Like, when does he have time to be gay? Plus, we won't ever say he's not gay because he doesn't think there's anything wrong with being gay." Again, that does sound a lot like deflecting, and someone maybe should have told Cindy Crawford about the term beard and what it means, because maybe she would have a better understanding of why they felt like this. It's also strange to me that she is seemingly fine with her husband being linked to multiple women, as she says. Shouldn't you be upset about that, or, have some kind of problem with it? I don't get why you would be okay with that. Anywho, to the surprise of no one, the advert was Richard Gere's idea. Maybe I am looking at this story with 2023 lenses, but I feel like if a rumour came out tomorrow that a famous actress may or may not be gay, they wouldn't care. In fact, several of them do have those rumours surrounding them, but with men, it's a huge problem every time. I don't know if they see it as a threat to their masculinity or if they just don't wish to be associated with queerness, but it's odd how that transpires. Crawford told Vanity Fair in August 1994, "I think the main thing that Richard was really upset about was not that they were saying stuff about us, but that they were saying we were lying about it, that we aren't honest people." Now, I don't know, Miss Girl, this whole story is just sounding very sus to me. I'm not picking up an honest vibe from any of this, and perhaps it is again because I'm viewing this from a 2023 perspective, or I have my gay goggles on, but there is some fruity behaviour going on here. Anyway, they went through all of this trouble to deny that they were both gay and paid the money for the advertisement, only to divorce in 1995. So the love and strength that they were proclaiming and denying the divorce rumours to the press was arguably false, and yet the problem that they had was that people didn't view them as honest. Gee, I wonder why. In 2013, Crawford said that the age gap in their relationship played a role in their divorce, and this isn't a surprising fact in the slightest. We still see relationships in Hollywood where there is a significant age gap or the power dynamic is not equal at all. Yes, I am looking at you, Leonardo DiCaprio. Why are all of your girlfriends so young? All of the relationships similar to this one are very strange to me. There's a 4-year age gap in my own relationship, and I struggle with that sometimes, never mind a 10 or 20-year age gap. It is very icky to me. This wouldn't be the last bizarre Richard Gere story to ever exist or come out of the 1990s. I think we have all at one point or another been informed of the gerbil story, which too stems from rumours about his sexuality. If you haven't heard about this, I'm going to implore you to do your own research on it and Google it yourself because I don't want to go too much into it. I did look very briefly just to make sure I had my facts correct, because the thought of the entire thing just makes me feel so ill too. But supposedly it is a real situation that happened to someone, it just wasn't Richard Gere himself. The more you know. Anyway, that's all I've got time for today. But if you liked the podcast, I'd be grateful if you gave it a follow on whichever platform you're listening to it on, or you can check it out on YouTube if that's more convenient for you. This has been The 90s Went Real, and I'll see you next week.